Akshata here from Akshata's Recipes. So I'm having a lovely hot cup of tea. It's raining outside. And guess what's today's recipe then? So today's recipe is this delicious cabbage and onion pakoras. So pakodas or bhajiyas, whatever you call it, is the best snack to have when it's raining heavily for tea time with a lovely cup of tea. It's a simple recipe, few ingredients, and gets ready really quickly. So without much further ado, let's jump into the recipe and I'll meet you at the end of the video with some few tips. So friends, let's see this delicious recipe of cabbage and onion pakoras or bhajis. Now first I'm going to show you how I'm chopping or slicing the onions. So I've taken two medium sized onions, washed them really well, peeled them, again wash them, take out the center yellow part, and one half I've already chopped, that's why you can only see three halves over here. And then I'm going to take it on this side, and with a very sharp knife I'm going to cut it into very thin slices like this. And once you have sliced it, you're just going to separate them, slice them as thin as possible, and then just with your fingers just separate them so you get these lovely long slices like you would for a kanda bhaji. Now watch the video till the end because I'm going to show you how I finely chop the cabbage for this recipe. So in this way, just slice the onions really fine. So our onions are ready. Now I've taken two dried green chillies and I've taken three medium-sized cloves of garlic, and I'm going to make a paste of this. So I just like to chop it up because then you don't get pieces of the chilli or the garlic remaining. And I'm going to put them into my mixer jar and grind them to a nice fine paste. You can also use a mortar and pestle. And this is what our paste will look like. So I'm just going to transfer it to a small plate. So now let's look at the other ingredients. So this is our 1 cup of cabbage. I'll show it to you as to how I slice it at the end of the video. This is our onion that we sliced. This is the paste of the green chilies and the garlic. Now here I have 1 cup of besan or chickpea flour. This is some coriander leaves. I'm just going to use about 1 tablespoon. Some salt to taste. Now these are a few powder masala. So here I have 1 teaspoon of ajwain or ova, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, and 1 teaspoon each of coriander or dhania powder and cumin or jeera powder, some water, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. That's all we require for this recipe. So now I've taken a large mixing bowl. I'm going to first add the cabbage. Now remember, after chopping the cabbage, always keep it in your refrigerator, otherwise it starts to discolor. Then I'm going to add the onions. Then I'm going to add our chili and garlic paste. Next, we are going to add a little bit of the fresh coriander. You can add as little or as much as you like. Then go in all these powders and the ajwain and the ova. Then I'm going to add some salt to taste. Now the minute you add the salt, the onion will start to release some liquid or water or juice, whatever you might call it. So now give everything a mix. Now I'm going to just leave it aside, cover it and leave it aside because I want the salt to react with the onions and let the onions leave out some water which is going to be used for this recipe. Like how we do with kanda bhaji, whenever you cut the kanda for the kanda bhaji, you always set it aside, and then you see that a lot of water has come out of the onions. So now you can see it has become a little bit wet with all the onions. The cabbage, however, does not release much water. So now I'm going to add the besan or the chickpea flour. Again, mix everything nicely together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water. So I used about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. We don't want a runny batter. We don't want a pancake kind of a batter. We want a bhaji batter, a very thick batter. So I've just added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water and then mix everything really well. basically the besan or the chickpea flour has to just coat the cabbage and the onions and all the other ingredients. But see that there's no dry flour left. So mix everything really well together, and then again you're going to cover this and keep this for about 5 minutes so that everything comes together very well. What you can do is you can heat your oil in the meantime for deep frying. So I've used about 2 to 3 cups of oil for deep frying. So this can be set aside till the oil is nice and heated up. And I've also kept a nice sieve over here. I don't like to, put the bhajis on tissue paper or napkin because then it becomes soggy. So I always like to use a steel sieve or sift. Now once our oil is nice and hot, and remember to keep the flame on low to medium, not on high fire, because that way only the outside of the bhaji will get cooked and the inside will remain raw. So your oil has to be heated on low to medium. And now just pick up a little bit of the dough like this and just put it into the oil. Don't make it into round balls. Just pick it up as it is like this, and like you would with the kanda bhaji, and then put it into the oil. So don't form it into any shape. And they become nice and sticky because of the besan. So all the ingredients will come together. They should look like, little kanda bhajis or little crab cakes. So we don't want them to be in a particular form as such. And then you're just going to fry it again on a low to medium flame. Just, stirring in between so that they don't stick to the bottom. And then you're going to fry them till they're nice and golden brown in color. We don't want to have any of the raw bhajis, so fry them well. The first batch will take some time, and as the oil gets hot, it will get faster and faster. Don't leave it unattended, otherwise the bhajis will get burnt. And then after that, just take them to the side like this so that the excess oil gets drained off. And then again, drain off the excess oil by putting them into a sieve or a sift. If you put them on the steel kind of sift or sieve, they remain crispy for a longer period of time. If you put it on tissue paper or kitchen napkins, they become soggy very, very fast. I've learned that over a period of time. So now whenever I do any deep frying, I always put, it on a sieve or a sift, a steel sieve or sift. So in this way, fry all the remaining bhajis, and you can serve this with some lovely green chutney. You can serve it with some ketchup. I'll leave a link to how all the different chutneys you can serve this with. You can have it all by itself also. Enjoy this, guys, with a nice hot cup of tea or coffee, and watch the video till the end because I'll give you a few tips, and I'll also show you how to chop up the cabbage. And then at the end after frying all of this with the remaining hot oil, I just like to add 2 chillies, green chillies. They become nice and crispy and all the spiciness goes away, like you'll see at the end of the video. Just fry about 2 or 3 chilies depending on how many of your family members or friends want to have some fried chilies. So make this recipe, enjoy it, and let me know your feedback. I'll catch you soon. Guys, wasn't that easy and looked really delicious? So a few tips for this recipe. So I have, as I told you all, I've left the video of how to chop the cabbage really fine. So what you do is you just take a cabbage. Now what I like to do is I like to soak it in some salt water for about 10 minutes, wash it thoroughly, and then I remove the outer leaves. I never use the outer leaf of the cabbage. I discard that. And then what you do is you cut the cabbage into half, and then you just turn it round and round on a, keep it flat, turn it round and round, and just very finely chop it right round, like I've shown you in the end of the video as to how to chop up cabbage. and all the onions and everything I've shown you how to do. Now the main thing is that, you know, onions leave, they ooze out water, they give out water if you put salt and keep them for some time, like we do with kanda, bhaji or onion fritters. So I suggest that you make this mixture, add the chickpea flour. First, you, without adding the chickpea flour, you keep the mixture for about 5 minutes, you know, not much, because then the cabbage will start discoloring. So just about for minimum 5 minutes, keep it. Then you add the besan, mix everything well, and again keep it for about 5 to 10 minutes so that everything comes together. And then, you know, whatever water is there from the onion, it comes out, so that, you know, you get this typical, you know, the right consistency. We don't want it to be very watery. Now what happens if your mixture becomes watery? By mistake, suppose you add a little extra water, don't worry, just add a little bit more of besan or chickpea flour till you get the right consistency. And then if you find that the chickpea flour is too much, then just add a little bit more of onion, and if you have some leftover cabbage, add the cabbage also. But this is a great tea time snack. It's so easy to make, and you know, cabbage is easily available all throughout the year. So it's simple and delicious. You can have it with a lovely hot cup of tea or coffee. So if you like this video, then don't forget to leave a big like. It does help me with those likes. The more likes I get, the more my video is shared with more people. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Once you subscribe, hit the bell. That way, whenever I put up a recipe, you'll get a message for the same. So thank you so much for watching my video and all my recipes. Keep supporting Akshata's recipes, and I'll catch you soon with another video. Take care, guys. Be loving and kind to one another, and I'll see you soon. Bye. So now let's see how to chop up this cabbage really fine. So I washed the cabbage really well after soaking it in water, and then I took out the top peel, and then I cut it up into half, and then I'm just going to take a sharp knife and just keep turning the half of the cabbage and slicing it thinly like this. So you just keep turning it, and then whatever remaining pieces are there, finally chop it again. So in this way you'll get these lovely shredded cabbage.